Center in Knoxville, Tennessee, home of the Volunteers, ranked number 20 in all of college basketball, as Tennessee gets ready to take on the Rice Owls. Akpara jumping center, and Tennessee controls the opening tip. The ball's in white. The Rice Owls out of Houston on the young season. It's the fourth different starting lineup for Tennessee tonight, and there is the talented freshman right on cue, Nate.
Got to make them beat you from two.
A one-on-one, late clock, a leaner thrown up there, and a prayer that does not hit the rim, so a shot clock by. First paint touch of the game for Tennessee, and there's a little hook shot by Akpara as he. Tennessee, home of the 20th ranked Volunteers. Mike Morgan, Dane Bradshaw. The Volunteers leading the Rice Owls with a 4-2 lead in the early going. Tennessee lit
compared to Rice.
And a lot of people might be seeing Tennessee this couple of years, 3-0 right now, but it's safe to say Rick Barnes might still be learning about
exactly what the best rotations are. They've got the versatility. They can play extremely.
Hey, rim rocker in that role. A lot of new guards for Tennessee. It's weird not seeing some of those familiar names like a Ziegler from a year ago, but Gillespie, who you just player at Georgetown, he's here tonight. Broadnax was a former coach. Points per game. We had a chance to catch up with Trey before the game. Just a really delight in the early going.
This is where Tennessee has a lob or a corner three.
There's the lob. There's the slam. Akpara giving the rip. And Gillespie will set up the offense in half court. Estrella, paint touch. Estrella down low. Little hook shot is good.
Shooter, but was deferring at times. Ament has a little bit more of that connect mentality of get me the ball.
They're getting broad-netted. I'm not anymore. What I love about this job, these are kids that are not worried about NIL deals. They're not going to be threatening to leave for the.
And then that's why it's going to keep him in the rotation.
And then trying to find Berg ahead of the pack. Ball squirts out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee in the early going, and another turnover. That'll be the fourth. 2-on-1, give and go, bucket. Perfect offense in transition by the Volunteers.
Yeah, you can't teach it any better.
Going as Rice has turned it over 3 consecutive possessions. Shot clock under 10. Oh, a beautiful dime dropped off, and the slam carry. Gillespie, the Tennessee native, the transfer, and there's an alley-oop feed. That's carried
after week 1. But he just said, look, man, that guy will do anything in the world for you. And of course, Rob Lanier and what he's done to help rebuild this program.
Tennessee will set it up in the half court. Ball stripped out of bounds. It will be Rice basketball. You and I were here quite a bit those first couple of years. Second half, he says that's the loudest I've ever heard this building in my time in Knoxville. And they've been in the tournament every year since that moment. As Jay
finished 13th in the league as
13th in the league, out of 14 teams. No one saw that coming. Bunch of 2-star kids. This is a 5-star kid on the bucket. Nate Ament.
That was your anniversary dinner too.
It was. Yeah. Quite the romantic. Thanks for pointing that out. On the take, it's Anderson in transition. A rare shoot. Wide open 3. Got it. Best look of the night for Rice, and Nick Anderson swishing
there, and they've been dominating this rivalry. 3-1. Hadn't played since 1963. Yeah. Hadn't found a coach that'll play him.
Strong take. Under 10. This is Berg. Berg at 5. Now at 3. Gillespie, long range. Got it. Around and down for Jacoby.
Kicked it out for a higher percentage off the catch 3.
Up top, Hobbs trying to respond. Can't do it. Nice box out by Gillespie. But it'll be Kuche at the free throw line out of St. Thomas Aquinas, a high school basketball, even when the team is not great. But the tradition here, anticipation and getting the steal. Has the ball up top, working on Estrella on the other end. It takes it right at the big fella and draws the foul.
The numbers do not lie. I mean, this is a team people
had time in the SEC where you didn't need a dominating defense because, quite frankly, some of the offenses were not up to par. It's a and one on a strong.
Say, all right, we're going to put somebody with great length and try to make his shots more difficult. But he's
Jalen Smith, the senior out of Orlando. He actually followed Coach Lanier down because you can't go to SMU and just transfer
at Rice, get the hours I need to so I can graduate from Rice, which was a total of 60, and let me stick around and be with you for 2 years. So
for number 0 in white, started his career at Belmont, then all big last year as a Maryland Terp. Clock down to 5. And a bump foul on
the guard. They were trying a little bit different of a
2 for 2. Gore.
I mean, some nights it could be Burke, some nights it could be Abram, it could be Cade Phillips, you name it. But I do think it's good that they don't sit around and watch.
Denied and scooped up by Rice. A steal on the play. Great defense from Nick Anderson. Ahead of the pack, open 3 from the wing. In rhythm, it's Jalen Smith. Season a year ago as a Rice Owl. Here's Gillespie. Alley-oop pass, and much more of that in the second half, perhaps. Up top to Amen. Another paint touch for Akpara, and he'll go to the free throw line. Felix,
when he is going to block shots, I mean, he goes up there and he either disrupts the shot or
that I know you can handle. Jarvis Bernardo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, on the inbounds to Gillespie. And Gillespie on the reset up top. Alley-oop pass. There it is again in heavy traffic. And a two-hand.
And man, just throws it on the money, does Gillespie.
Well, this is a teaching aid. Going to put him on the bench and let him think about it, right?
Right, and I think it goes back.
He's too valuable a player to not have him on the floor for a lot of minutes in the second half. Great ball movement, sets up the 3 for 8.
Jumping in the air off 1 foot. Been way more under control in this game and been rewarded with some kickbacks and 3s.
Nice pull-up jumper by Anderson. Going back. Gillespie up top, going to work on Smith. Goes to Abram, who thought that he was going to have Phillips diving in the basket, but that's what Rick Barnes told us. He said ideally he wouldn't mind playing Ament more at the 2-guard spot.
Well, and then if you need to, you can play extremely small. None of those real bad losses. It just seemed like year after year.
Yeah, that's November, December. You know, sometimes you're fighting the football calendar. This metrics, they still count just as much. In fact, the 89% non-conference record last year for the SEC, that's how you get 14 teams in. And Tennessee will go in transition here. Gillespie puts it in high gear. Off the window, he missed it. The follow, yes, the tip by Akpara. Shot clock under 10 for the Owls. Rise and fire. Got it. Man, Cam Carroll with a little. Rice with the ball under 13 minutes to go. And again, I've been impressed. Skill has matched the athleticism in this league, where it's the most exciting brand of basketball we've seen in the SEC in a long time is Cam Carroll.
I think he's done the right thing. He's continued to hunt his shot because Coach Lanier thinks so highly of him and his character. And we started in the first half talking about it. Coach Lanier challenging Broadnax and saying, hey, look, you're one of the
country. Amen hanging and can't hit it. Tapped around. Amen gets it back. Off the window and in.
Oh, I mean, that was the missing piece, I felt like, for them to beat a team like Houston, advance to a Final Four. So you certainly hope that he can get back and be fully healthy for this team.
Got 12 points, 8 rebounds tonight. 7 dunks for the Volunteers. So near the rim and a timeout called by Rice. Not a most coming. And he was never that big, but he always got the shot off. And man, when it was going up, you thought it was in. There's a two-handed slam. Amen up top. Mismatch here. Instead goes to Gillespie. Alley-oop, another one. 8 Tennessee dunks.
Belmont shines there, goes to Maryland, shines there, and now he's at his dream. He just, I'm not answering that. And
that's during that time too, where guys were getting COVID years, so you had a glut of young. Appreciated a little bit more.
Belmont's had a list of stars coming up.
Rice will give way to Tennessee quite a as the Vols look to improve to 4-0 on the season.
In that conference, other teams are licking their chops thinking this might be our year.
Strong take and a foul drawn.
You ever question.
I try so hard to just impress Dane Bradshaw. No dice. Inside carry. Little bully ball. And a whistle and a foul. That's going to go against a reprieve with 4 fouls. As the free throw is knocked down. Top 6 programs that have kind of been the new bloods, and of course joining since 2018. I'm going to put you on the spot here in a moment, Dane. Carey on the breakaway. Look out! Nobody getting in Jalen Carey's way. It's physical. Late clock situation for Rice and a foul called with 5:23 to go. Championship game with James Madison a couple of years ago, and then of course the big dance, and then Carey was highly coveted in the portal, and
those guys are getting up over 100 every single game, it seems like.
Breakaway for Ament. 16 points now to lead how the expectations level are for those 6 teams. We also know there's always other good teams in the
Texas does under first-year Coach Miller. I think they've looked pretty good so far. They're going to be very competitive. Gillespie knocks another one down. And look, I think a lot of people were maybe expecting a little bit of a letdown. And one for Ament.
In the Big Ten and did it very well. From about the 10-minute mark on to the second half. And a 3. Rice will keep firing. That's Nick Anderson on the triple.
That's a little bit of that half-court trap. Giving up some bad defensive possessions on, including that 3.
Big to big, down low. Carve out some space and then bank it home.
Ament still in the game. That just shows you that they're continuing to try to work on things, knowing that they're still trying to figure out what their best lineup.
Completely dominated by the SEC last year. See if the ACC has improved at all this season. First 3 fired up by Troy Henderson. Speaking of freshmen. Henderson, entry pass down low. And that's highly touted in the preseason newcomer of the year for the Tennessee Volunteer freshman. It's a great year for freshmen across the land in college basketball. How about some other names?
Devonta was not having a good game. I thought, all right, this is welcome to physical college basketball. And all he did in the second half was absolutely explode, dominating, diet, all those things if they want to perform at their best in this league.
Sometimes older is still better in college basketball. Volleyball near the net. And a nice layup, but not good in transit. Get a chance to redeem himself here. Finds a prayer and an easy 2-hand slam for Dwayne Brown. Here's 10 dunks in that equation to go along with a half a dozen threes and 18 offensive rebounds. The Volunteers, and who have known each other, great friends, colleagues for so many years, a great embrace it.